Got another great question on that earlier video with a complicated answer because it actually goes back to what we mean by ADHD and disorder more generally. I would describe ADHD as a neurodivergence. What that means is it's not properly understood as a disorder or a disease or something that is wrong with you, but rather a descriptor of a particular way of processing the world that happens to be different from the norm. So what happens is our society is really properly tuned, or I shouldn't say properly, well tuned for individuals who are very future oriented, right? If you look in the media, everything else, you're expected to plan, to prepare. Whereas ADHD, if you go back to some of my earlier videos on the topic, is best understood as sort of a temporal nearsightedness. It is a present focused approach, which is great for certain things, but hard for others. Because the structures around us are designed for a future-oriented approach, the ADHD individual often suffers. But in environments where present focused approaches are beneficial, you will see ADHD individuals thrive. In my practice, I see, for example, a ton of photographers who get ADHD diagnoses, and they are amazing and arguably better than their more anxious, future-oriented counterparts. So going back then to your first question, growing out of, no, it is something that is who you are. But if we look at how it's diagnosed, we are looking at symptoms. We're looking at outward expressions of that inner way of being in the world. And in that sense, absolutely, the environment plays a huge role in cultivating how our innate processing is experienced by us and others in the world. So specific symptoms that we connect with ADHD absolutely can and do change depending on our environment and how we learn. And the goal is to find a way to be authentic to your lived experience, while also, of course, finding ways to adapt to the world around us, because that is an unfortunate reality. We do have to figure out how to deal with what we are given. But there's a difference between that and the implication of sort of curing or getting rid of something that is much more innate. That's, again, just a really brief intro, but I hope that helps. As always, like and follow if you want more content, and post in the comments what you think.